Hold on. No, sorry, just a second. I'm not sure if this live stream has started, but it's okay.
We're still 1 minute early.
Yeah,
And
just
started
just one
around.
second. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
It's live
Okay.
now. It's okay.
Okay, cool. Okay, let's start over. Sorry. Good morning or good evening, everybody. And this is Shiran. I'm with my man Smitty here today. And he is one of the best video creators around TikTok. And this is Vidu 101, the second episode. We're going to introduce the latest model represented by Vidu that is Q1 reference to video. For those who don't know what Vidu is one of the strongest AI video generating tool across the world. Here we present uh, references to video, images to video, and text to video. And today we're gonna mostly introduce about the latest and the most powerful model we have, that is Q1 reference to video. For those who just joined this live stream, you can find us on our official website down below in the links. You can join our Discord there as well. And for today, who joins Vidu through this live webinar today, we're gonna have special offers for you. So today I'm gonna introduce my man Smitty right here. Hi, how you doing?
hi, glad to be here. How you doing?
Hi.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for showing up and being here. I'm excited to show you guys these tools.
Yeah, so I've seen some of your videos that you've been doing, which are amazing. Like you've been following the trends, you've been getting great numbers on TikTok. And why don't you start off by showing us how to do like the simplest stuff by Q1 reference to video to show how simple it is and how powerful it is. So let's just give us a
Okay,
like a
so
grand view of what is going on with this.
all right, I'll get a screen share going here so that we can do exactly that.
Hmm.
And here we go. Make sure you've got me,
Just a second.
and if you've
Yeah.
got me, let me know. All right, I'm
All
gonna make
right.
sure we're loaded up. So the reference to video obviously is brand new. It's on the home page right here. There's reference to video where you can go and play with it and start doing that. The first thing I'm going to cover is actually references themselves, just because there's a lot of cool stuff we can do with that. So you'll go down to my references and click on references. And if you don't have any, there's a spot to just start adding your own. It's going to show you a lot of references that I've made recently. But if you click over here on create references, this is how you start creating a reference. Now you're going to put pictures in here. I generally will put in AI pictures, and onto that, I've been using a website called Reeve. Maybe you've heard of them. At one point, they were the leader in AI image generation for a moment there. So I've still been using them, and they're really easy to use. So, for example, here some of the references you can do are actually scenes, not just people, but scenes. So in this case, I'm gonna download one of these and save it for later, and we'll use that as a reference right there. So I'll go ahead and plus right here, and my picture should be right there, which is a nice sunsetty beach. And the cool thing is, depending on what you're doing, so if you're doing like a human being or a person or a character, you have the option to add more photos here. Since I'm just doing a scene right here, I don't have more photos looking the other way, so I'm going to leave it like this. But if you're doing a character or something of that nature, you might want a side profile or maybe a close up of their face, and then like a full body shot or something like that. But that's the beauty of it, is you have the option to add more photos there, so you can get really good references. Then you're going to be on to naming it. So I'm just going to call it Sunset Beach. And the next step's kind of important, I think, also because it's going to go through and it's going to describe what it sees in your reference. And important to kind of look through there and make sure it actually lines up with this, let's say, and it generally does, but just in case, I wouldn't want to say like cartoon at the end or something like that, because this isn't a cartoon. Or maybe it's saying photograph and you've got an anime character there, so you want to adjust it. Once you know it's okay, you just go ahead and hit confirm. Now you've added that reference to your library of references. You can see I've got quite the library of references. We'll play with some of these shortly here. Um, but pretty simple to make a reference right there. I think that covers kind of how to make it. Um, when I'm doing Reeve, when I prompt for it, I thought I just mentioned the prompt here that I generally use for realistic stuff because I generally do realistic looking imagery. Occasionally I do anime. So let's say I wanted Donald Trump standing on the street corner. And then the key here for me, oops, spell corner right, is the next few words shot on our pro photo. I use the words pro photo and shot on Hasselblad, which you could use a different camera or something like that, but it gives it the words that make it into an actual image rather than a cartoon or an anime or something like that. So you could pretty much put anything here and then add that to the end of it, and you're gonna get this kind of a photo out of Reeve anyway, and probably almost any image generator for that matter. So we'll just see what this comes up with next, just to give you an idea. So pretty simple. If you wanted to make it really easy, you could say, add one more sentence to the end of it, which would be on a neutral background. That way there's nothing behind the character or anything like that. So there you could take that and put that in there and make him a character. Um, should I go on to showing how I used reference to video maybe a little
Yeah,
bit?
let's hop on. So this is
Yeah.
the part where you create references and teach them how to, like, what is the best output for video to recognize, because it will be the best scenario for your character references to be in neutral background, and so it will fit
Yeah,
in
yeah.
perfectly for the reference and the actual background we're gonna use. So yeah, let's
Yeah,
proceed.
so I actually uploaded a whole bunch of references to Google Drive and gave a link to Sharon here. He can share it if he wants. That has all the references I'll be using today, or some other ones as well. But for fun, let's make a prompt and test this out because there's so much cool stuff going on here, and there's so much power. Uh, you can do it. So for my page and for what I do, it's kind of satire, short humor, comedy based, like basic. Sometimes even just I'd call it brain rot. But this tool is very powerful, and you could use it for telling stories very, very, very well. Um, so I'm going to grab these two guys here that I made, and then I'm going to put them in a scene too. I do like this. Well, let's start out with something simple. Let's just start out with one guy and go from there and put him in a scene. And we can add more people later. So you've got your two people or your two items references listed here. And of course, if you name them when you create your reference, it'll show a name of them also in there too. So in this case, I'm just going to say the character is running towards camera. And I'm going to say quickly and then add high action. And that tends to get the high action if I want running fast. So you can leave it at this. And a lot of times the cool part about leaving a real simple sentence like that is it leaves a lot for the AI to open interpretation. So you might get something really random or different, and sometimes that'll be really awesome. Sometimes it won't, but you can go more concise by using Pro mode. I'm going to go ahead and run this one just with my plain sentence, and then we'll go ahead and run it with Pro mode, and I'll show you what that's like. Pro mode's like having a really, yeah, we'll show you. We'll go ahead and click on Pro mode, and it's going to analyze and optimize what I just said. It's going to take that idea and formulate it and put it in a really nice, so you've got subject, environment, the scenes described. And here's my favorite part about this. Once it's done this, you've got all these boxes down here. If you click on any one of them, it'll bring up this menu over here. So you have the option to change all kinds of things, like if I wanted it to be an animation or 3D rendering, all the way down here to where you've got camera movements you can do. So it's showing what it selected for me based on its pro mode analyzation. And I think I'll leave it at that for now. But you can certainly go through here, change whatever it is. Maybe you want a super wide angle. Maybe you want it from a bird's eye view. So you've just got all these options. It's just super powerful. At the very end, after clicking on Pro Mode, there's another option to optimize, and I'm going to do that too because it kind of further optimizes it. And then we'll run that prompt. I
So,
think Pro Mode's
mhm,
kind of the way to go most of the time. I do like playing around with my shorter prompts too, just because I really like to see it really tests the AI and leaves it to be the one to decide what everything's going to be like. And it's kind of fun to see what that might look like. All
cool.
right, so we'll run that one right there. You had a question, Sharon?
Yeah, I feel like could you please elaborate on what is like the optimized, what does the optimized actually does? So at first promo give us like a real detailed display of what uh Vidu think your prompt is gonna be like. So what does this automatic optimize does exactly?
So if we turn it off, doesn't it kind of show us how it breaks it down?
Mm-hmm.
And because this is what it does, right? It breaks
Yeah.
it down from subject to environment, style, motion, shot size, focal length, all of that and all of the above, as well as I believe using some form of a large language model to write the prompt for you more detailed.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, that's my understanding of what it does. Am I right?
Oh, cool.
So let's see what this first one look like. See if he's running. Oh, I think I got him dancing,
No.
which we can take that too. I'm all right with dance. Dance is one of my favorite things. So, but the character consistency is really good. We've got a disco era Vladimir here. So,
Yeah, you may want to run that back a few times because it's a little bit laggy for the
oh,
first one.
is it still lagging? Yeah,
Yeah.
let me catch it up there for you because
But
it
it's
should
okay.
catch up here once it's played a couple times.
Mhm.
So that's actually a pretty good dance. Actually,
Yeah,
you could time that to some music and it would look pretty good. And of course, added with clips and maybe a short story, it'd be pretty fun.
yeah. And
And we'll highlight the other one here where he's doing a little bit of a different move there. But
so your reference is actually named Disco Pudding and Alleyway Video. Yeah, this is interesting. So you can, yeah, feel free to name your references as well, as long as you pack the
Mhm.
stuff together. And what is like how many shot angle of a person do you prefer, or how many pictures of one character reference do you prefer to make it like look thorough
I
when it's
think
generated?
I think lately, like with Putin and the disco Putin here, I did two. I think two has been pretty good for me. I think again though, it really depends on how detailed you want to go. Because some
Hmm.
characters they might always wear the same hoodie or something and it has the same logo on the back. So you might want a photo of the back too or something like that. So it just depends on what you really want to do. I think two is sufficient though, because it seems to do a really good job. I've had it do a good job with just one. So I think maybe once you start getting a bunch of references in here, then it's three photos, three photos, three photos, three. It's a lot more for the AI to think about.
Hmm.
So sometimes keeping them light too makes it easier to stack references up,
Okay, cool.
if that makes any sense, right?
Yeah. Could you play that dancing video again? Like thoroughly.
Yeah. Well, here, let's go. The first dancing one right
Hmm.
here. There we go. I could go full screen with it, let it play
Oh,
there.
cool.
That's actually pretty good. And you notice it actually kept the video Q1 R2V and didn't mess any of that up either. It's the finer things, the little details.
Yeah, exactly.
And this one, I think it got him kind of running up and then doing something fun. We'll let that play a couple of times. So he did do a nice run right towards the camera, and maybe he was bowing to it at the end. Is that catching up so you can see it?
Actually, not really. It's still a bit laggy. But
Let's
I'm
try
sure
again.
it'll be better. Yeah, I'm seeing that like it's just sometimes it just froze and then straight up real quick and do a lot in like 1 millisecond. But it's okay. Let's move on to see how the generation has been doing. Oh yeah, I see a little bit of the running like coming up.
Yeah, yeah, a little more running going on in
Oh.
that one. So it does follow the prompts really well.
Mm-hmm.
And the more that you use it, the more you're going to find out
Yeah.
how what words kind of trigger certain things, and the high action and stuff like that that I was saying, that kind of stuff tends to definitely triggers more movement, which is I like movement. So um, we've seen all over the internet that Bigfoot's the big guy lately.
Hmm.
Should we do something with Bigfoot?
Yeah, sure. Run with it.
We'll find my Bigfoot here. He's got to be over here. There he is. And we could put Bigfoot with we're gonna do something fun. We'll put him on a beach. So we'll start with my simple prompt again. So and I don't like mentioning Bigfoot because then sometimes it throws in an extra Bigfoot. So I always like the character because it knows it's a character. It is riding an ATV on the beach. I'm just going to leave it at tracking shot and then we'll just use pro mode. That's why we have pro mode because it gives us our general idea and then we can go from there. It should look really good. Yeah. So there you go. So that's nice and detailed. And then I'm going to just look at this portion of it real quick because I kind of want a wide angle. There we go. And then I'm going to optimize and run it. We'll take a look at that when it's done. But the beauty is you can have here, you've got a character, something for them to ride on, and a beach. So really, this part right here is where all the creativity is. You can do so many things. It's just unlimited. If you're thinking outside the box, there's got to be a million things you can do because you can stack references, scenes, props, whatever it might be. That's just unleashes the creativity. So if you've got a creative mind, you'll be able to come up with some fun stuff and be able to make a lot of neat things. I'll get another one going while that one's going.
Yeah, while we're at it, do you mind like reshare your screen, please? Because yeah, it's a little bit laggy
Yeah,
on my end. Yeah, because
I'll try it.
yeah, cool. Thank you. Yes, it's not just the video, it's also like the
All the other movements.
yeah, the movements of like any of your input as well.
So it should be on there. Let me know if you see me okay. Got my screen okay?
Okay, yeah, here we go. Got it.
Got it?
Yeah, let's just um keep going and see what's happened. Do you mind play that footing video once again?
Which one?
The one below there, like the one you just did, the dancing one, footing dancing one.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
before that.
Hmm.
Well, there was a couple dancing ones. There it is. That's kind of the, he's doing quite a bit. And then there was this one here also.
Uh,
Is it streaming through okay?
I don't think I can see that. I don't think I can see what you're doing to your. Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's kind of laggy still, but it's okay. Uh, never mind. Let's move on. So
So yeah,
yeah.
back to pro mode. Super handy. Keeps it so that, and you can see if you turn it off, you could sit here and write your prompts this way just by adding the subject, the environment, the animation, and all of that stuff. So it's just kind of a trick too. Once you turn it on, you can turn it off and it leaves this here. So you can actually write prompts that way too, which is really handy. So we'll grab, oh, that one just popped up. So I'm going to see what it looks like. So we've got Bigfoot riding on the beach. He's a big Bigfoot too. And the waves are going. Does that show through? Yeah.
Uh, no, it's froze.
Pretty slow.
Yeah, it's pretty slow.
Not sure what to do
Uh,
on that.
yeah. Do you have like a internet cable maybe?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
It is hooked up to Ethernet on my
Okay.
end. Yeah.
Uh,
Look that one up and see if you can see that. Anything? Yeah.
Uh, well, not really. I can't really see that moving. I just see
That's
pictures
crazy.
to pictures. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What do you suggest I do?
Um,
Anything?
yeah, maybe let's just move on, like right here,
Okay.
and to see what we can do, like when we take like by the end we can take a turn and look back at it.
Yeah. Okay. We can do that.
Yeah.
So kind of went over kind of some like viral video stuff with Putin and Bigfoot. So let's go maybe on to something a little bit different. Um, has anybody heard of Italian brain rot?
Yeah, I did. I've been
Yeah,
seeing
so
those a lot lately.
it's kind of all the rage lately. So it's kind of a fun one to do if you haven't tried it before. Um, these two characters right here are kind of the main characters, and I'll put them on the beach. So, and again, the two characters. Can you see me typing at least?
No, I'm seeing like frame to frame stuff from your computer, and it's
Really?
yeah,
Hmm.
it's not like consecutive movement. Yeah, I think just words just pop out all at once. It's not like a
Oh, I see.
yeah.
Okay. Dancing on the beach together. Well, I'm just gonna try and do the best I can on this end to show stuff and go from there.
Cool.
And so I put the prompt into the two characters are dancing on the beach together. And then we'll do our pro mode optimization and try that there. All right, I'm just gonna look it over real quick. He does not have a coffee cup for it. Oh, she does. That's right. That looks all accurate. So we'll optimize it and then run it. Go from there. So you can fire off any questions you might have for me.
Oh yeah, so how do you see like the references as their character in the prompt? Because I don't know, like when I describe it, I tend to use it as like through a very logical phrase. I use it as a like the like how do you put words in your prompt to arrange them, or did you just like put them out and let promo do take it all away?
Well, I the more I've been playing with it, the more I've realized the benefits of pro mode and kind of allowing it to elaborate because I feel like it understands what Q1 wants, and so it probably understands how to write it better than I do. I feel like so at this point, I've kind of started leaning more into using the pro mode the further I've started using things.
Hmm.
So again, though, I still like to once in a while just run that basic prompt to see what that might look like, especially if maybe I'm not getting what I want from pro mode, where it just seems like with all these options like this just makes that's just awesome. Be able to control all of these elements right here. Time lapse, even macro, first person view, aerial, all of the above. So I think having that on top of the ability for it to kind of know what it needs better than I do, even I kind of like the pro mode personally.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it kind of just seems to work the best that way.
Hmm. So when you write the prompt, you don't have to generally put it in like a
I
thorough.
mean, you want to have an idea of what you want. I mean, so we've got three elements and an idea. Of course, it's an idea I've been playing with earlier today too. But yeah, an idea is where you got to start there.
Yeah.
Everything starts with an idea, and that's why creativity is the last currency, right? We're living in that era where if you've got some ideas and some creativity, you can, with tools like Vidu, kind of make your dreams come true and
Yeah.
make whatever you want.
Hmm.
So that's really up to you and your creativity. Um, so again, like I was said earlier, I do stuff that's kind of simple and funny and playful and things like that, but there's way more depth to what you can do.
Hmm.
So you can certainly do a full-on anime, short, story, or do even a realistic short story with realistic imagery. You can do a short story using using brain rot characters too. So it's doesn't have to be confined to just a few clips. You could really, drag it out for a minute or two, clips together and whatnot. So, and these dancing clips are actually looking pretty good. Actually, that's kind of cute. Are you
Do you
able to
mind
see?
actually download it for us so we can play it on local, not the
Yep,
web page?
I'll
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that'll look smoother.
I might need to share the whole thing though.
Yeah.
Hold on here, 1 second. Share desktop. That way you can see everything. So that should have downloaded there. Got a whole bunch of other videos up here too. So we'll try and cover them up. Well, that sure looks a lot better on my end. I don't know how that's showing up on your end. If I
Uh,
replay it.
I'm not seeing it. Maybe give it a second.
Yep. But it is showing my whole screen, I hope.
I'm not seeing the screen actually.
Oh, see, desktop. It should be sharing the whole thing. That should be sharing
Ah,
my
there we
whole.
go. Yeah,
There we go.
I'm seeing it right now.
So that's, that's actually pretty good movement. If you can see it, I'm hoping. Put me in if you can. Yes? No?
Uh, I'm not seeing it playing, as I'm just seeing one frame, but you're on playing, so I don't know what is going on. Yeah, maybe the computer's.
Yeah, I am playing it.
Yeah, yeah.
So I got it on autoplay here. I'll try it on the website again. See, you'd think that would do it. Funny how none of this happened the last 3 days.
No, it's okay.
Well, I'm gonna run it again anyway. I'll load the other one and try it. See if it'll play for you. Share that. Does that work, Sharon?
Um, no, I don't think so. Maybe let's just move on from there. Yeah, but I do
Okay.
see like how it's like doing everything because the dancing sequence. I can actually think
You can kind of
maybe
tell it's
yeah, you
dancing, I
kind of tell
guess.
it. Yeah,
You get the idea, I
yeah.
suppose.
So they're actually doing some pretty decent movement. Like, so what about the amplitude? Do you think like they have the like right amount of amplitude? How they're moving? Like they're moving fast enough, or they're
On the
like
motion level,
yeah on the motion
yeah,
level.
because you've got the option here for your motion level, and I think yeah, if you want to keep them moving, you probably want to put it on large.
Hmm.
And I think when you say something like high action in your prompt and then hit pro mode's smart enough to realize what you said, and it automatically did that. It actually put it at large motion
Yeah,
automatically. So as long as you're saying something like that, it'll catch it. If not, then you can go in and click on it and then just show, change it in the menu over here. So that would be the easiest thing to do. But yeah, all the menu items, keep it pretty simple. All right.
all right. So yeah, I think I've also seen some of your videos about like you putting like the virtual self of yours or like a virtual image or virtual
Oh
reference
yeah, yeah,
as
yeah.
reference. So in some of those things that could be like really funny for all of us to play around because like who doesn't want to be in their favorite films or their favorite video games or their favorite novels? Like I mean, you can build your own scenario and make yourself like the own character. Yeah, I remember like the one that you did like you really look like Cillian Murphy from like the Mafia TV series. So yeah, really that was really impressive. So
Yeah,
maybe
so
show us a little bit how did you do
I
that?
yeah, I can pull up a couple of different ones where I was uh so you can make yourself a reference. And like I was saying before, as far as making references, um, when you're a human, probably the three pictures is better for the reference. And you can
Mm,
see if this is playing on your screen here. It's definitely a really good reference of me. You'd have to, you can see my face here. That's definitely me,
yeah,
without a doubt. And it's spot on. It even recognizes that I'm a Seahawks fan. So one other clue would be if you're putting yourself in there and you want to make a reference of yourself, I highly encourage you to do it because it's really fun. Number one, number two, we're plain things, without labels and things like that. That like the Seahawks logo is going to show up in a lot of my stuff now. So if I would have wore, say, just like a black hoodie, maybe it would have been different. Or you can definitely prompt to have different clothing on, but if you leave it unprompted, it'll catch on to that stuff because I think I had Seahawks gear on all three of my photos. So that explains that.
yeah.
So
It gives like a very detailed Seahawk jersey once you actually put it on you.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
actually right on. The logo's spot on. I mean, it got my actual hoodie
Mhm.
to you also. What I also noticed was that you can do things like your animals. So up here, I have, don't get sick while I scroll real quick to get to the one with, I could make one with the cat though. I just passed it.
Yeah, so unlike the past like images to video or any of the things we had before, Q1 actually
Mhm.
remembers like the logos and the wordings on your references, especially on like a bullet board or like on what is on your clothes, like the logo, the shape and everything, the patterns, it remembers it. And so give
It
you this
does
whole
remember
con
that stuff.
consistency. And unlike, the past images to video, it kind of get twisted when it's moving. So this is actually something really optimized in detail.
Yeah, well, and we noticed in some of these scenes where there's writing on the walls, like here in this disco scene. Why does
Hmm.
it keep flipping? Here you can see it's Vidu Q1 R2V in the background, and it never goes away. It stays there the whole time, and it stays there every time I run that with that scene in there. It actually stays there, and it's consistent every time. It's really good, really consistent with that wording and stuff too. So I was going to show the cat, and so you can put your cat in, put your dog in. So this is me and my actual cat that looks just like him riding around on the beach there. Actually works really well. If I went to my references and showed you my references here, the pictures of my cat weren't all that perfect. So, whoops, clicked on it. There we go. Just one photo, and it got him really good. And it's not the best photo in the world. You just probably can't see that because it's so small on the screen, but it actually did a really good job of getting my cat spot on. So,
Oh, yeah, I see it now.
huh?
So cute. His name is Simba?
Simba, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
nice.
Yeah, it must be lagging just a
Yeah.
tad behind me, I
Hmm.
guess, huh?
That's the
Well,
like.
back to Ballerina Cappuccina and Tong Tong Suhur. But we were going to talk about what else we were going to talk about.
Yeah, so maybe try some of like put Simba together with you. Let's see what happens. Like, how
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
let's give him a show like
Let's do.
how do we use daily object or daily pictures as your references as well? Because
Yeah.
all we did
So
was very delicate, like redesigned perfectly for the model to use. Because the background is plain and simple, and it's like got high resolutions. It's very clear so video can actually recognize the consistency and the clarity of those elements. So what if like we use some of our like daily pictures? I know some of the backgrounds aren't that clear, or maybe colors or blending or like things like that. Yeah, maybe let's give it a try then.
Yeah, so I mean that's kind of what I have there. I mean, my cat is just that he's just on my kitchen counter there. So there's a lot of stuff in the background right there
Hmm.
on that reference, and it still nailed the cat spot on. The reference of myself, you can see there's a forest in the background, furniture in the background. So I didn't have neutral background. And again, you could probably get better quality even if you went out and again kind of stood behind or had something behind you that was more neutral. But this still works. It still catches it, which is really incredible. I was going to put us in the location too, if you don't mind. I'm going to let's try sunset at the beach. Man and the cat are sitting together. Beach sunset. I feel like experimenting. Is that right? Do phone mode, and then I think I want to look at all of these guys. Static shot, time lapse, macro. Well, I think that's okay. And we'll run that, see how that works. Take a quick look. Middle-aged man, that's me.
Okay. So yeah, for those who don't know what we're doing today, and we're presenting like the latest, strongest model represented by Vidu, and that is Q1 references to video. And now we're just showing how to make AI produce video out of references like daily pictures. So together here today with me, here is Smitty and his cat Simba, and we're gonna make a kick-ass video out of this, all of their pictures, and through Vidu Q1.
And they're just basic pictures with an iPhone.
Yeah.
So, though I am a photographer and I could take other pictures, and it
Hmm.
was easier just to snap some iPhone photos.
Yeah.
Well, I think you'll find those are really cool. I really actually the disco. I don't know if we can see this if I leave it there long enough. These disco ones with our disco leaders here are pretty darn cool. They came out really, really, really well. Let's see if it catches up to you. Yes, no?
Yeah, I definitely see the frame moving, but they're not like as consistent as supposed to be
Yeah.
because yeah, because it's the lag
So yeah,
moving, I
on
believe.
my end, it's 1080p and it looks really good.
Uh-huh.
This one, they're really moving a lot. So this is probably my favorite one of
Yeah,
those.
but at least you can get like this concept of how clear or the clarity this video can actually
Yeah.
do. Oh yeah, you can see them spin around like
Yeah, they're doing a
yeah,
shimmy, 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 and then a
yeah.
spin around.
And the video
And
Q1 ref, see the neon signs in the background. That is something AI could not do before. Like it twisted the content and the words in the pictures. But as long as we have that as a reference, it can keep its consistency and not twist it around, so we can still read and see how the sign and the words originally look like. So this is a big improvement.
it's a big improvement.
Yeah.
And so you've got character consistency, scene
Hmm.
consistency. You've got consistency with your props. So if you're like the ATV I was playing with, so it's same from every video you generate. That's just awesome.
Yeah.
So if you're a storyteller, whether you're a short form guy like myself or you like to tell longer stories, man, this just opens up so many opportunities to tell good stories.
Yeah.
It's really, really good. I'm going to see if the Simba Cat ones are doing okay here.
Hmm. And by doing that, we
So
just achieved world peace, like putting those two dancing together. Who could thought of that happening?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So this
Oh.
once it shows up for you, it actually is pretty darn good. It's showing me
Hmm.
cat at my cat at the beach.
Oh, it's so
It
cute.
did a really good job at having people walk by
Yeah.
in the background.
Hmm.
That's just genius.
Yeah. It's
Very,
adding this.
very good.
Hmm. So it's adding like its own interpretation, like how the background should look like in motion, and
Mhm.
not just put it up there as what the picture was set it. So these are it arranges stuff that could be happening in the scene that you inputted. So it's like a real expansion or extension for like what you're set to be, and sometimes it surprises you with like surprisingly good elements in the
Surprisingly cool,
background. Yeah.
interesting stuff. Yeah.
Hmm.
So just to see what the other one was like, it just had a little bit different angle. But if you saw my cat, that is my cat. He's
Hmm.
his markings on his face and everything are
Yeah.
identical. So it's really consistent, really
Hmm.
fun. So if you want to be that influencer or make an influencer and send them out traveling, you just make characters and put them together. Highly recommend give them a pet to do everything with, and
Oh yeah. Like see how
that'll
natural
increase
the
your
cat
views, I
is.
promise you.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
again, here it's catching the people walking by. And I told it we were sitting together, so I didn't really want us going anywhere. And it figured out on its own that if I was sitting with my cat, I'd probably be petting the cat. So
Hmm.
it's doing a good job of that too. That's really impressive to me. And it does such a good job of like, I mean, that's exactly me.
Yeah.
Sometimes early on with AI, it seems like when you try to do or train a model on yourself or something like that, you came out looking plasticky or you just, or a lot of times it just automatically made me 15 years younger. Every time, which, I didn't mind it too much, but
Yeah.
it just, it was not very realistic. So, but these are good. These are great and very realistic. And I think, again,
Yeah.
it's just open to whatever creativity you have,
Hmm.
whatever you decide you can put in these boxes, which is up to 7 references. So you can put up to 7 things in here. That's
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
So, man, storytellers, ignite your ignition. Get ready to launch.
Hmm.
There's lots of stuff to do here, lots of stuff to play with. So,
Yes.
I use all my stuff on TikTok for the most part.
Hmm.
I do post on Instagram and other places like that, but
Yeah.
TikTok is, uh, I think, was a nice home for AI stuff.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I lean to with my AI stuff. So
Yeah. Let's
what
show
else
them
can
the
I show?
numbers. See how you've been doing
Oh,
with Vidu. See how much achievement you can
well,
get.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's some newer stuff and some older stuff on here
Hmm.
too, but some of these I just posted. So the oldest one that I posted most recently with Q1 would be this one right here, and it's got 27,000 views. So I
Yeah. That's
think
that's
it's
a
trying to
big
play the
number,
music. So I don't
especially
know
with
if
all
that's
the math.
good to play the music or not, but yeah. But it's Bigfoot getting dance lessons with Yeti. Uh, and it, again, that's at 27,000 views, and that was posted earlier today. Um, this guy's been doing pretty good. And it does so good with the characters. I wish it was streaming as beautifully for me right now as it is for everybody else, but that's just incredible.
Yeah.
So,
So you
but
were
these
one
kind
of
of things
them.
are viral, and
Mm.
they kind of go crazy. I made this for video a long time ago. This was
Yeah.
great. But yeah, I do a lot of stuff with video, animals and other things as well. So, but my TikTok, if anybody wants a story of inspiration, it was less than 6 months ago. 5 months ago, I had 274 followers, and I just kept posting AI stuff that I really liked, and it eventually just took off. And it wasn't anything I tried to do intentional. I
Wow.
was just posting things that I enjoyed,
Hmm.
and so you can do the same thing.
Yeah.
Just find what you enjoy and what makes. And for me, it's mostly stuff that makes me laugh.
So you were the one actually feeding all this Italian brain rot stuff on my grid too, because I've been scrolling these stuff are in the algorithm like for the past few weeks for me, and I was like, who are actually making these stuff? It doesn't make any sense to me, but I actually enjoy watching them for
I
no reason.
yeah, I don't quite comprehend what it's all about, but yeah, it has its own thing and its own shtick, and for some reason it sticks and people like it and they find it funny.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know if I showed that whole video or not. I guess probably because of music. I don't know if I should, right?
Oh yeah, music sometimes helps you on TikTok
But
big time as well.
yeah. Anyway, should be a way to turn that down. There we go. But that video, just so we don't get copyright or anything like that for music, but yeah, this is consistent. Just a little story in the day in the life of these two guys who are having a great bromance and possibly destroying liberty. I don't know. It's for you to interpret.
Yeah,
But they're
that's
having a
how you
good time
make it.
dancing
This
and a good time at the beach.
this is how
So
you make the impossible possible. Like for the lifetime of me, I'll never get to see those two doing all these stuff together.
no, they would only do it behind the scenes. They wouldn't
Yeah,
let anybody catch them.
all I see is their straight face on TV, on the
Yeah,
phone and
yeah.
everything. So yeah,
And real life, they're good buddies, I
yeah,
think.
this is really really amazing what we're having today. So maybe you can stop sharing your screen for a second. So let's talk about like give a little bit detail about how who you are and what do you do actually, and how do you get together with We Do. Yeah,
Uh,
and for those who just a second, yeah, for those who join us, this is live stream webinar presented by Vidu, and Vidu is one of the leading AI generating video tools across the world. And today you're watching Vidu 101, and we are introducing the newest, strongest model that is Q1 references to video. And together we have Smitty here today. And make sure you join us, either visit us on the official website or join our Discord. And click the link below today to get the special offer presented by Vidu. And you get offer discount or discount off your subscription as well. So yeah, it's very what so I'm gonna pop you like two questions. That's what I do for every interview or webinar we do
sure.
with CPP. So yeah, first of all, how did you find us? Like how did you find Vidu?
Honestly, and I think everybody should be on X or Twitter if you're an AI enthusiast at all. So I think I found you on Twitter first and then through Discord, and then it just went from there. So that's kind of how I found the video,
Mhm.
um, just seeing other posts and stuff. So, and then it was a couple models ago. Um, you were really highlighting speed and speed and generation and whatnot, one of the older models. And I jumped on right at that time and was having a ball with it. So it's been a while I've been using Vidu. My background, at least in this arena, is I do art and other things, but photography was my main thing. A night sky photographer,
Mhm.
Milky Way, aurora, things like that. And then I kind of several years back, and one of my photographer friends introduced me to an AI image generator we all know and love today called Mid Journey. And then shortly after that, ChatGPT entered my life, and it's just exploded ever since. And for me to watch the video come where it went just a frame by frame by frame. I don't know if anybody's heard the word deforum or any of those old videos that we used to have to sit there and let our computer run all night to make a 10-second video as it made one frame at a time. We have
Mhm.
come a long way. And video is a good state of the art model to show you exactly how far we've come. So I enjoy not only doing this stuff, I think, again, I started my TikTok kind of as an outlet to kind of let my brain rot flow and whatever crazy ideas I had. And TikTok's always really acceptable with that. So I've kind of always done that. But I also do bridge photography and AI together. I'll bring an image home that I take and then I'll reimagine it and turn it into videos or time lapses and things like that too. So I kind of bring both worlds together and I'm trying to do more and more of that. But visual arts and music have always been kind of a thing I've been into. So I'll play guitar, play music as well. So
And so like what is your opinion on this whole AI thing? Because, as a photographer, we usually consider that as like maybe tr more of a traditional artist. Like, so how do you combine AI and blend it into your career path?
Yeah, so in the photography world, I'm probably an outlier. There's
Mm,
not a lot of photographers. Most of them are, oh no, they're taking her, taking my job or whatever, or whatever they say. And the reality, I look at it like this. For if you're a photographer, your authentic imagery just became more valuable. And then if you're a photographer who doesn't embrace AI in the future that we're headed for, then you're kind of going to fall behind. So AI in general, I just believe it's the next wave. It's like getting in on sunshine before there was sunlight. I mean, this is really the next big thing. Um, just as important as the invention of the wheel or fire, really, in my opinion. And we get to play with fun, amazing things like Vidu and make videos and things like that. But we all know there's other things happening in the AI world too that are going to really greatly change our lives. And this is just one facet of it. As a creative person, I like that we've democratized creativity. So if you have a great idea and you've got something you want to share in your mind or some story you've thought up, you have the tools right now, right before you to do all of that
mm,
today. And it's a great time to be alive, in my opinion. Just amazing time to be alive.
yeah, and video is here for you to do exactly that. So,
Exactly.
yeah. Okay, so thank everybody again. This is Vidu One-on-One, the official online streaming webinar presented by Vidu. Together with me today, we have Smitty, who is a photographer, who is a content creator that is very popular on TikTok. And me, this is Shiran, I'm being your user manager at Vidu. So again, for the last time, please join. You can join us by register through the website. You can join us on Discord and you can have special offer through the link specially presented by Video One-on-One, and that will give you extra credit and discount in your subscription. So I believe that's all, folks, today. And thank you all again, and thank you, Smitty, for doing this with us together. And I'll see y'all
Thank you for
next time.
having me. All right. Thank you.
Bye.